I want you to read I want to read to you some things that I had when I had this encounter with Enoch. And I just want to read it to you, some of it. It's just some things. And this man Enoch is so filled with light and so filled with love that it is very, very difficult to stand in his presence. It is very difficult to stay on your feet, and it is very difficult to stand before him. He is so filled with love, that's the only thing I can say. But there was a firmness about him, but he was filled with love. And he said, your life must become a symphony of love, gratitude, and thanksgiving. And he talked, and when he said that to me, I felt a wave come over me, it's like it was music. I can't explain. A wave washed right over me when he said that. He said, your life must become a symphony. You know what a symphony is? A symphony of love, gratitude, and thanksgiving. And he said, when this symphony plays through you, you start to be transformed. You see, the things of God are not complicated. They're not difficult, you see. And he said, the problem is with the church, they lack discipline and consistency in their walk with the Lord. And at that point he said to me, sit down, because I had trouble standing up anyway. And he said, sit down. He wanted to talk to me about consistency. And he said, the way forward must be maintained. If it is not maintained, you will fall behind. And because everything is in a state of acceleration, it will be very, very difficult to get back on the road again. And he said it with such, not fierceness, but with a look that meant, get this, listen to what I'm saying to you. And he said, the forward momentum now in your life and your walk with the Lord must be maintained. And I thought, oh, okay. And he said, people walk with the Lord for 2 or 3 days, and then they're off for a week. They fall off for a week, and then 2 or 3 days they'll come back and walk with the Lord again. He said, there is no time anymore for that. He said, you must maintain the momentum. And then he looked at me and he said, it is important that you control your mood each day. He said, if you don't set your mood for each day, the devil will set it for you. I mean, I thought, I know that. But it's different, when someone else like that says it. It's like, and so he explained that a little. He said, you cannot afford to be downhearted, and you cannot afford to be sad. He said, sadness is a choice. It is a choice. And he said, if you fall into self-pity, you may never get out of it in these days again. And so you get up in the morning and you decide what your day is going to be like. Not the devil, not anyone else. You decide what your emotion for that day will be. He said, when you are bright, your days are bright. Now, such simple things, he did give me some other stuff which was really profound, but I thought, this is stuff everybody can get a hold of and walk with, He said, you have the power to choose and maintain your mood. I thought, yes, that's good. So you get up in the morning, who's going to set the flow for your day? Who's going to set what kind of day you're going to have? You. And he said, if you let it go for a few hours, by that time, someone else has set your mood. And it's hard to break back out of it. He said, you must maintain, you must develop a consistency in your walk with the Lord. And I thought, well, that's good. He said, when you become more at home in this realm, he was talking the realm where I was in when I was talking to him, when you become more at home in this realm than in the physical realm, you will turn a corner in your walk with the Lord. He said, initially, he said, life in the Spirit initially is a perception only, which is true. You perceive the Lord, right? You perceive the heavenly realm. You don't walk in it with an open vision of it, but you perceive the movement of the Spirit. He said that is only just the beginning, but most Christians stop there. He said that is just the first stage, perceiving. He said God intends that you walk with him openly in the Spirit. So it's not just a perception. He said it is very important that your mind must accept the reality of the unseen world and know that it is more real than this physical realm. And that you believe that you can walk in this realm. He said, because of unbelief, and he talked about the veil of unbelief, but because of unbelief, we limit our walk with the Lord to the perception level. We just perceive, but we don't openly fully see. And it's because of unbelief. We don't believe we can walk in that. And he talked about removing that veil. He told me he had many years talking with Adam about his walk in the Garden of Eden. And he said he was so fired up by the walk that Adam had. And Adam would talk to him and talk to him and talk to him about the walk he'd had. And he was so fired up. He came to the place that he had to, above everything else, to have that kind of walk with God. And when you come to that place, above everything else, you have to have that kind of walk with God. You're beginning to get back on the track. It is possible. You see, you can walk with him in this realm. He said the Lord is always with you. He said he would never leave you. He said this is foundational for your walk with him. He said he never leaves you, you leave him. And I thought, okay. Then he talked about the sons of God. He said the sons of God are soon to be released in the earth. And these are those who have learned to walk with the Lord and have experienced transfiguration. He said they will be immune to this world's pollution and sickness and decay. They will restore the earth and bring the rule of heaven to earth. And he said one of the apostolic functions in these end times. You see, the early church, the apostolic movement in the early church started the church, right? Started. He said the end time one is different. He said it crosses over into the millennium. The apostolic function will be to direct and build a new world. He said they are the builders, the master builders for a new society. And